Hello everyone, this is Jacob Rodriguez here in the first video blog of many, getting to know the artist. We're here today at 1928 16th Street here in Corpus Christi, Texas with Roel Guevara. Thank you, sir, for taking the time out of your day to talk to us a little bit about yourself. He's a local independent filmmaker. We're here at livesouthtexas.com and we're going to get to know the artist. Tell America, this is your time right now. Tell them, plug yourself, give guys and gals out there a sneak peek into the life and mind of Roel Guevara.
Well, basically, I'm an artist from the get-go, so my mind's all over the place. We ventured into film where we could express moving pictures, actually mess with moods and feelings and so on and so forth, and I have tons of stories to tell, and I think this is a good outlet for us to actually encapsulate everything and actually make people see part of the world that they don't know.
How long have you been doing films, movies, and stuff like this? Have you been at the game for a while?
Honestly, most people think, hey dude, this dude's done it.
No, I've seen some of your stuff, and it's
I've been doing it for like 9 months.
Yeah.
Since last cc7.
Since last cc7, yeah. You just picked it up then.
Yeah. So I've sat around for 20 years watching movies.
Exactly.
I'm a movie guy. I like to watch all kinds of movies, from sad movies to,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Normally artists, and I just know this from the little theater that I've been able to encounter, but a lot of artists they venture off into other avenues of art. Are you?
Well, yeah.
Do you do something else outside of the directing and film industry?
So,
what is that?
I paint. I paint. I airbrush. I have murals all over the United States. So,
really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I have some in Dallas and Mississippi. I've done a lot of painting for churches. In Mississippi especially, we've done children's churches and so on and so forth, and I donate it to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like for money-wise. I just do it because that's what I do.
Is that what you started with? Was that your art to begin with?
I've been painting. I used to hand paint signs when I was 14. I'm 40 years old now.
And how many times have you done this Corpus Christi thing then?
We did it last year and then we did it this year.
Okay.
So, but we film other stuff, you know what I mean? Mess around.
So y'all were first time film directors last year?
Technically, well, because Jacob, we went under Jacob's name.
Yeah.
So Jacob had done it the first year.
Okay. So your first year this year then too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's cool. So it started off as for fun, and now you're like you know what you can do now, and you're getting you're diving full face in it. Huh? Yeah.
The same thing with the editing. People think I've been editing forever. There's still a lot of. I'm not saying I know everything, but
tell me about that. Tell me about that. I asked you earlier off camera about what your forte is in making a film, and you said editing and cinematography. You just like that?
I like, because everybody has like an artsy feel to them, and I guess my artsy comes out in the actual colors of the film.
Yeah. And
I try to strive to look more cinematic.
Okay.
More, when you watch it, I want you to feel like it's an actual movie, not a home movie.
The crew that you had, do you have someone in charge of costumes? Do you have someone in charge of script supervisor?
Technically, no. We did everything. We had
technicians of any sort?
We basically did everything. This year was the first year that we shot one scene in the beginning that we actually brought in a lighting guy.
A lighting guy?
Yeah, and he's a filmmaker too. His name's Will Diaz. Awesome guy.
Local guy?
The local guy, works at Del Mar.
Nice.
Beautiful light system. But we had a scene in the beginning of the movie that needed to be super lit, and we couldn't get that with the natural lighting. Otherwise, we shoot everything else.
Tell me about this natural lighting. I'm glad you brought this up. I think this is one of the most brilliant things about you as a director is the fact that you use natural lighting. I mean, a lot of people have three-point lighting, they got dollies, they got all kinds of stuff, and they're trying to make their movie, atmospheric and show mood, but you use the lighting. You keep it all natural, baby.
Right. And I think it comes from the artistic background that I got, that we try to grab, I guess I could see the world in a different light. So we try to use those particular, okay, we set her right here by this window, the light, but we only got this much time because the sun's going to go to this point and it's going to block this. So we learn to use these lights to our advantage. And me and Jacob are known for horror.
For horror?
Yeah, and for some crazy reason, everybody's like, oh, these are the horror
What
guys.
was that last film we saw at the Revolution Bar?
It was called The Sacrifice.
The Sacrifice. And can you tell us a little about, can you tell America a little bit about that, what that was?
Well, basically, it all started that we went down there and we were thinking, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Ended up that we pulled a genre out because we had to pick elements.
Okay, and so y'all picked them out of a hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
We pulled genre out, and I didn't pull it out. Jacob did, and it was loud in there, and he says, okay, we got horror. So, and I didn't hear. I thought he said film noir. So I was like, okay. So I started changing my whole thinking about that, and then it came out to be that it was horror.
Let us get to this Corpus Christi 7-day film project. For those of you who don't know, Corpus Christi 7-day film project is a local festival of sorts for all the independent local artists of Corpus Christi to show what they got. In the same respect as the 48 Hour, you have this one's a 7-day film festival, and you have 7 days basically to write, direct, edit, cut, put sound on a movie, and turn it in, all within 7 days. And you have to follow the 4 elements. This year, the elements were...
This year we had, the first element was a star.
Star.
Second element was Jackie, a girl, what was it, a dynamic character.
Jackie, dynamic.
And she had to mix stuff up.
And she mixes things up. And mixes things up was a very subjective thing. It was, she could physically be mixing something. Right. She could just mix something up because she's wild like that or something. So that was the second element.
Right.
The
third element was a line of dialogue, which was, I have more self-esteem in my little finger than you have in your whole being.
And can tell the audience about that line, because if you don't get the line correct, you're ousted.
Yeah.
You're out your money that you pay to compete. Because this is a big time thing. We'll talk a little bit about the judges who are going to judge this thing, but that element, this line of dialogue,
that line of dialogue is, and it's weird because sometimes it's kind of tricky. The word than and then sound very similar. So to be on the safe side, I emphasized than earlier because we wanted that word to stand out so it wouldn't get mixed up. In this competition, you have to do stuff where it's like, okay, it's abundantly clear that he said that. Because you don't want to take the chance. You've paid money. You're trying to get viewed, screened.
Exactly.
So you don't want to take that chance. And it was just kind of...
Take the chance where you're kicked out and you don't... All that time you spent, all your actors and whatnot that you got together, the heartache, the headache, the stress of it, to do it all and have a beautiful film and then it get kicked out and not judged and not viewed for one little word that was out of place in that line of dialogue.
Yeah, last year's line of dialogue was the problem with blank, where you fill in the blank, is that he thinks too much. And most people forget. Naturally, you want to see the problem with Joe is that he thinks too much. You forget that.
Yeah.
And that DQ'd like almost 12 films last year.
Disqualified 10 films? Wow.
So
it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
I mean, the industry is cutthroat. I mean, this is Corpus Christi, but it's like Hollywood here, baby. These guys, they go at it. And a lot of you guys are friends too, right? You've been doing this, you said, for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Can we let's get back to the fourth element. The fourth element of the Corpus Christi 7-day film project was
this year's fourth element was pain. It was
It was very technical, wasn't it?
Right.
It was
It broke down to the point where you had to use the first element in the first third of your movie, the second element in the second third of your movie, and the third element in the third part of your movie or at the ending.
Yeah. And you had trouble with that?
Yeah. It's because...
Well, what's the word on the street? Lots of directors had trouble with this too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though some say, no, there's no possible, because the timing is what kills you. The timing.
Yeah.
You have 8 minutes.
And that's what's so beautiful and brilliant about the Corpus Christi 7-day film festival, I think, not to interrupt you, but I think the beauty of this 7-day project are these elements and these various directors with these various ideas and visions in their head in an art sense. They want to shoot this movie. They got a story to tell, and they got to do this, but they got to follow these rules.
Right.
And if you don't follow these rules, in 7 days and film this project, this movie, this 8-minute film in 7 days, you're out. Who these judges are? Who the judges are for any of these things?
I usually don't. I know one of them, and the other one I think
you can say his name. It's all right.
It's Linklater.
Linklater, Richard Linklater, director, the Texas director.
Dazed and Confused.
I would say he basically made Matthew McConaughey's career, but I don't want to get into that. But yeah, Slackers, Dazed and Confused, A Scanner Darkly, Philip K. Dick book. That was a beautiful movie. Waking Life. If you're into philosophy, watch that movie. That's my plug-in. Sorry, America. So that's one of the directors, and you just got all kinds of other. This is kind of a big thing here in Corpus, right?
Yeah, it's a stellar event. It's one of those. I always compare it to. It's up there like for local film. We have other groups, but it almost compares to like, okay, this is the big show for right now. It's like it's getting there.
How long has this been going on? How many years now?
I want to say, and like I said, I want to say, this might be wrong. I think they're like 5-6 years.
5 or 6 years. Do you have anything to plug for the audience? Anything?
Well, we got, if you look at this clip right here, if you follow this link right here, we have Rhino Graphics and on YouTube, and you can see all our stuff. And we also have a face. I got a face. We also got a page on Facebook.
Everyone's got a face on Facebook.
So it's Rhino Graphics Studios on Facebook, so you could find that.
Tell us about the link again. Can you show us that link again?
Yeah, it's right here. It's a Rhino Graphics on YouTube, and you can see everything. Just press it, and you'll go directly to our link, and that will show you stuff we've been working on, from trailers.
How much stuff? How much?
We have Dia de los Muertos, a feature that we've been working on. We have.
Is this a current production? Or
Yeah,
it's finished.
No, we're still working on it.
Post-production?
We're almost there. We casted, we've done a bunch of stuff, and then we ran into a wall of financial stuff, and it's just getting the money back up. And since I'm financing everything, we're trying to get everything back on schedule.
Again, the trials and tribulations of being an independent filmmaker, getting into the business. Can you tell us about that? How have you run into any setbacks in terms of what you want to accomplish and what's been holding you back? What's the biggest thing holding you back, you would think?
Money.
Money.
That's the biggest thing. And then
I think that's what's plaguing the Congress right now too.
Yeah,
so it's everybody's problem.
All of us are 9-to-5ers, so we all have a day job, and then after that, come back out and start shooting and trying to get this going. That's our biggest concern is money. Otherwise, if we had all day and we had money, we'd be cranking stuff out.
Anything else you like to you want to get across? This is your time right now.
I just think that everybody come out and support cc7d.
When is this? Can we get the dates?
August 20th at the Harbor Playhouse.
August 20th at the Harbor Playhouse here in Corpus Christi, Texas. That's right over the Harbor Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. August 20th at what time?
Doors open at 12. It'll start at 1 till about 10:30.
1 to 10:30 at night. We're going to see approximately 40-something films.
44 films.
44 films.
Redemption's in the 5th flight, which is the later flight in the night. So
Redemption is your movie,
right?
And it's in the 5th flight. In the 5th flight, so that'll be at nighttime. There's going to be 5 flights starting at 1 o'clock with approximately 5 movies per flight.
There's probably about 8 movies. It's about an hour and 10 minutes.
An hour and 10 minutes, okay. An hour and 10 minutes per flight with the intermissions interlaced in between, and it's just going to be a good old time. Is the bar going to be open? For our drinkers. Bar will be open. It'll be in the big room at the Playhouse. And
then afterwards, with a paid ticket, you'll go into the House of Rock afterwards for the actual award ceremony and who wins and so on and so forth. I also want to plug in before it's too late is South Texas Underground Film. I'm a big part of that.
What is this? Can you tell us about that real quick?
It's another organization of actual filmmakers in Corpus Christi, actually getting together and actually doing something. Because a lot of us were like, well, we only do one thing a year, and we want to do something different. The 48 film that we've done was South Texas Underground Film, sponsored by Revolution. It was done there. They have a 24-hour cell phone challenge or pocket challenge coming up on the 6th. The
6th. That's a 24-hour film festival, and y'all are going to have elements for that as well, right?
And we meet at Cafe Calypso, and then at the end, Revolution.
Okay, and the 24-hour. Good luck on that, sir. Like they say in the industry, break a leg. It should be good. I'm excited to see what you got. This guy's got a vision, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see more of him. The Oreo Speedwagon. Anything else?
That's it. Just you can find South Texas Underground Film there at on Facebook.
Again, today we were here with Roel Guevara, local independent filmmaker here in Corpus Christi for livesouthtexas.com. I wish all of you guys a very good night, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you. See you again. This is Jacob Rodriguez, getting to know the artist, livesouthtexas.com.